I'm just here wandering about, demanding that all these people stop trying to sacrifice other people's time in exchange for their own benefit. Let's get started. Karen parks her car in the middle of the road, misery ensues. Short but annoying story about an entitled mother I encountered the other day. Further down the block from where I live is an elementary school. Due to some poor planning, older part of town, the entrance to the school is on a one-way, one-lane street. During school drop-off/pickup hours I know to avoid the area, but during the day the area is fairly quiet and it's actually the quickest way for me to get home. Such is what happened the other day. I ran some errands in the morning and then headed home to get to work. As I got to the school, the car in front of me slowed down and then stopped. I thought the driver was perhaps picking someone up or dropping off someone who was late, but what happened instead is that the driver shut the engine, hit the hazards and exited the car and began heading into the school. I immediately honked to grab her attention, but as all Karens are possessed of an internal mechanism that blocks out all irritating noises beyond the screech of other Karens calling for support from the coven, I was summarily ignored. Cars began piling up behind me, and Karen is nowhere to be found. All that's left for me to do is stew in my own increasingly boiling pot of anger and outrage. I'll be honest, I considered just leaning on the horn until she came back, but I knew it'd do no good and I'd just bother the kids studying. About 15 minutes later Karen came back, strolling along without a care in the world. When we saw her she was greeted with a cacophony of car horns, yelling and cursing, but her deflector shields were up and she heard not a thing of the abuse we hurled her way. She got in the car and drove off, and I got home a few minutes later. To add insult to injury there were parking spots about 50 feet up the road, but she didn't even bother trying to go once around the block to look for spots. That's it, that's all there is to the story, just an entitled person who couldn't possibly comprehend that a public road is not her personal parking lot. No instant karma, no justice or revenge bones, just sheer frustration. However, for the sake of the story and to make you all feel better, all of us who were stuck behind her banded together, called the cops and confronted her. She was arrested for assaulting a police officer and filing false claims after she took a swing at the cops because they didn't believe her when she told the cops we gang raged her in front of the school guard while threatening to shoot her kids and shoot up the school. Get out of the way, Karen, you are blocking the road. Oh, that's it. 3, 2, 1. Make way for the driving frog. That was not cool, but not as bad as this next story of an entitled parent. This one tried to get an American deported. Let's get started. Racist entitled mother threatened to get me deported and fired today. Here's a little background information about my job. I work as a guest entertainment leader at my local McDonald's, which basically means I'm a cashier and a waitress, but it's also my job to basically just have fun with customers. My favorite thing is I challenge customers to rock paper scissors duels, and if they beat me, I'll buy them dessert. It's a pretty fun job. I've recently been promoted, though I've only been working at my job for a month and a half, so now my job includes training other people who do my job at the store on the other side of town. Technically this makes me a manager in the way that I got the raise, plus an extra 15% off on my discount, and I wear the managerial uniform, but other than that I'm not a real manager. I still just do my same job with my additional training other people. Also, I'm half Asian, but I was born in America. This is important to the story. Lunch rush hit us pretty hard today. Luckily, I still had some time between manning the register to have the occasional conversation and duel a few customers, bought 2 apple pies and an Oreo McFlurry before noon, but the people on drive-thru were suffering. We were short-staffed, and even though I'm technically a manager I'm not really allowed in the kitchen because I haven't been trained for that. Entitled mother and her 3 kids ordered on the kiosks, so I didn't really have to wait on them too much, but I always keep a stash of stickers by my register for kids that I bring in every day. I let the kids pick out what ones they wanted. I let them have a couple each. Entitled mother seems nice at first. After about 5 minutes of waiting, she starts tapping her foot impatiently. After 10, she asks me what's taking so long. I go and check to see what's taking the kitchen so long to get their orders out, and not only are they behind on 5 orders for drive-through, she had ordered 40 nuggets along with Happy Meals and other food. So her order is going to take a while. I go out, ready for damage control. Hey, we're a little backed up, and because it's a large order it's going to take another 15 minutes or so. If you'd like, I can get you guys some free ice cream while you wait. I can afford my own ice cream. I wasn't implying that at all. I apologize if it sounded like I was. Apology accepted. I'm not really sure where to go from this point because this customer is clearly mad and nothing I'm doing is really helping, so I go and make another pot of coffee, literally the only thing in the kitchen I'm allowed to do, and go freshen up my customers' coffees and take a few more orders. One of the orders was just a small fry and a large drink, and fries were ready, so it got out before entitled mother's order. And this is where it goes bad. I handed the bag to the man next to her, and she starts yelling at me. I have been waiting for over 20 minutes, why did he get his order first? Mom, his order was. If you guys are so busy, then why are you just goofing around out here and not helping your co-workers get orders done? That's not my job. My children are hungry and you are just talking and laughing with people over there instead of getting the food I paid for. I am a single mother and I work 40 hours a week to take care of these children, and you think it's funny that I'm not getting the services I pay for? At this point I can tell my other customers are being disturbed by this woman, and she's also kind of pissing me off. Mom, please stop yelling in my store. Don't tell me what to do, I am a hard-working American. Matching her tone, MAAN, please stop yelling in my store. If you don't, you can have a refund and you can leave. Don't yell at me, I am a customer. I pay your bills. You must be really bad at IT then, because I'm behind on my rent. Honestly, I just said this because I knew it would make my regulars laugh. It worked. Are there any managers here? I am the manager. Her order is ready, I hand it to her. She takes it, and just when I thought it was over, I want a refund. You have your food. I had to wait nearly 30 minutes for my food. It should be free. This isn't Domino's. You're not funny. I'm not kidding. Your food is fresh, all accounted for. You're not getting a refund just because you had to wait. McDonald's isn't at fault for your giant order, and neither am I. I'm going to post about you on Rants and give you a bad review. Alright, Mom. Enjoy your meal. What's your last name? Why? Because not only am I going to get you fired, I'm going to call immigration. Okay, have fun with that. My last name is. Also, I was born here, so that's gonna be a waste of time. She left soon after. She didn't come back, but she did try to call the store and complain, but hung up when I was the one who answered. Not like she wanted to. Don't mind Karen, she parked her car in the middle of the road, now she wants free food for waiting around. Not today. Learned that from World War III. Do you serve sandwiches? Alright, fine, here's my last story today. Keep your human droppings away from my lightsaber. I am currently sitting in the airport in Orlando, headed home after a week at Disney World. For the last half hour I've been watching two kids smack each other with the cheap lightsabers they sell all through Galaxy's Edge. The kids are maybe 8 and 9 years old. 5 minutes ago one kid broke his lightsaber and started crying. I have my lightsaber in its case with me. It cost $200 and I took this vacation specifically to build it and have the experience. Their mom must have seen dozens of these carrying case around the park, so she knew what it was. She comes over and asks if her son can borrow mine to play with his brother. I tell her that I would prefer not since I just saw him break his. She starts getting all whiny and insists that it's just a toy and a grown man shouldn't even have one. Right then her husband walks up and pulls her away, apologizes, and tells her to leave me alone. Nothing major, no security involved. Why does anyone think they have the right to other people's property? Sandwich delicious.
Ist jeder Sandwich.
It's treason then. From my point of view, the Jedi are evil. That's all we got for this episode. Feel free to subscribe and comment if you like. Lightsaber.